You can dramatically increase your sales with these market research tactics. 1 of 3. Why is it important to perform market research? What is market research, and why is it even a big deal? Most entrepreneurs do little to no market research before they open their business. That is a huge mistake because when you make assumptions about your market, you could end up creating a business that has no market to fill, or you could end up alienating your audience because you make a critical mistake. There are many reasons you should be conducting market research before you start any business. If you do no market research, you could end up creating a product that is missing vital features your market would expect, or that includes features that aren't necessary, inflating the price at no benefit to your company or your customers. If you do no market research, you could end up being wrong about the demographics of your market, which could be a very costly mistake if you pay for advertising and target the wrong people. If you do no market research, you could end up making critical mistakes that destroy your chances of success. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars on market research. Sure, it would be great if we could all afford to hire those expensive market research firms to do it for us, but unless you have 7 figures of venture capital, you're not likely to be able to do that. Fortunately, there are many ways you can do market research without spending a lot of money. Market research doesn't have to be an extremely expensive and time-consuming process. It can be a lot easier than you probably think. We've already talked about why market research is so critical. Now we're going to look at some of the various methods that you can use to conduct basic market research without spending a fortune. The most obvious is simply studying your competition to find out what they are doing right, and what they are doing wrong. The easiest way to do this is look up reviews of your competitors' products and services online. Make a list of common comments, both good and bad, to find out why people are, or aren't, buying from each competitor. Reviews are invaluable for your products. Sometimes it can hurt to read your reviews, but knowing what people don't like about your products can help you make a new version that is much more profitable. Forums are also great sources of information. If you can find forums where people discuss products in your niche, you can often find a wealth of information for free. The same holds true of social media. Simply watching your competitors' Facebook and Twitter accounts can often give you a lot of insight into your average potential buyer, as well as what they think about the competition. Surveys are another very good way to figure out what your prospective buyer wants. You can use an online survey tool to set up your survey, and you could even offer some contest or incentive for people to take your survey. You can find people who might be interested in filling out your survey on forums and social media. Here are some great resources you can use to conduct basic marketing research. www.thinkwithgoogle.com web link. factfinder.census.gov web link. ubersuggest.io. www.pewresearch.org web link. www.socialmention.com. research.hubspot.com. Knowing your customer is probably the single most important aspect of market research, so now we are going to cover some ways to do market research into the demographics of potential customers. Understand your customers through market research. One of the most important elements of market research, and arguably the single most important, is understanding your customers. If you don't understand your average customer, you won't be able to develop a product that perfectly fills your market's needs, and you won't be able to target those people with your advertising. Perhaps the best way to uncover your potential market is to study your competitors' reviews, social media accounts, etc. That will help you figure out the type of person who typically buys their products, which will generally be the same type of person who will buy yours. Another way to find out about your customers is to use an ad system like Facebook to target your competition with an ad. You don't necessarily have to spend a lot of money on ads to do this. Sometimes just targeting your competition on Facebook, assuming they have a strong enough presence to be included in Facebook's targeting, can give you a good idea of your target demographic. You can also conduct surveys to find out what type of person would be interested in your products. Surveys are a great tool, because they can help you determine not only the specifics of what people want in your product, but also your basic demographics. Given a large enough sample size, you could even uncover multiple demographics who each want a product with different features. It can be tricky to find people to take a survey, but some of the best places to find people are in Facebook groups and on forums in related niches. It's a good idea to offer some incentive, such as a thank you prize to all survey takers, or even just a contest for a specific prize that you choose a winner from amongst all the people who take the survey. Surveys can also be very beneficial by allowing you to collect the email addresses of people who might be interested in your product. If you have the funds available, it can be very helpful to hire a marketing firm to perform research on your behalf. They have resources you may not have access to, and they can save you a great deal of time. In our next lesson post, we're going to look at how you can learn more about your competition and combine that with what you learned about your customers to create a killer product and a killer marketing plan. Without understanding your competition, you'll never know what you should do to outsmart them, so you don't want to miss the next lesson. Until then,